recording on. Quick, let me just kind of introduce you guys. So, Scott, do you real quick want to give your introduction, then I'll go back to Curtis, and then I'll introduce Fred.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, Curtis and Fred are brand new, so you've been in for.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've two things going on. I'm in Southern California, but I'm doing self-storage deals as well, nationwide. There's Northeast I'm not interested in, but
Yeah,
and the other thing I'm doing is I'm a vendor for Pad Split, co-living here in Southern California, and I'm going to start flipping some of these houses. So I'm looking for gap funding for that, and that's why I want to get this thing going so I can start looking for gap funders on your system.
yeah,
But
yeah. They're all in lender matching and all that stuff. Capital Passport. So it's
so
pretty cool in that. Yeah. So cool. All right. Well then, Curtis, do you want to introduce yourself to Scott and Fred, and then I'll.
Sure. Yeah. My main interest is to reactivate myself. I used to be very active in IRS lien seizure sales and all matters associated with that. That was 20, 25 years ago. And I come to find out that, and fortunately, I think for all of us, that the IRS is no longer seizing anywhere near what they used to be. And so now I'm more interested in the intersection of notices of federal tax lien as they connect to real property. Because there's two opportunities for me as I see it. That's to help the taxpayer, if that's the best way to go. And if not, then there's a possibility due to the urgency and usually other associated matters financially that fall apart, foreclosures, property tax, whatever urgencies might be involved, that I might be able to pick up a property at a discount. My primary interest is no longer single family residence because that's kind of a grind, but I'm more interested in multifamily and possibly self storage, Scott.
Yeah, and he's in Southern California. You're in Tahoe. Actually, Bill, welcome. Hey, I was going to tell you I was trying to connect. I'm going to try to connect you and Curtis because he's in Tahoe. I think I told you about him. So he's up. You guys are only a few hours apart.
hey,
Since
Curtis.
you're in Northern
Hi,
California.
Bill.
Yeah. So yeah, because this is Bill I told you about. So he's
Yeah.
up. I'll try to connect you guys because you guys are kind of close. And then obviously I want to connect you with Don, even though he's in Georgia, because you guys are doing this. I don't know if Don's going to be on tonight. We got a couple other people that are doing tax lanes as well. So I want to make because I try to organize people who do similar things, so that way they can connect and it's kind of a cool thing to do. But yeah, that's awesome. So cool. I'll real quick have Fred, and then I'll have Bill introduce himself, and then I'm gonna go ahead and then turn on the GPT, and I'm gonna tonight we're gonna do more like an operational, functional kind of just review of how it works. But I'm gonna show you guys what I just got like four. I got 4 o'clock my time. I got an update from my own RCIC on some Colorado stuff, just to kind of point out what I get in these updates that I've been telling you guys about. But hey, Fred, welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah, sure. So we live in Huntsville, Alabama, and
Okay.
we have a tiny home RV park that we've built out the past few years. Kind of got us out of the single family home real estate investor side of it in that route. But we're
Yeah.
now that that's built out, we're getting back into it, and we're doing
Yeah.
that through the foreclosure space. So I'm really curious to learn more about how to get in front of people ahead of before they've gotten a bank notice and
Yeah.
get in and just helping people out with foreclosure and making some
Yeah.
money for our
So
business that way.
yeah. So since you're in Alabama, that's how you know John, because I think I mentioned
Yeah,
John's group. Yeah.
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 John's
So,
actually John's a neighbor. He lives about
oh,
four
okay.
houses down
Yeah,
from
because he's
us.
obviously in with Jim and or Jimmy.
Yep.
So yeah. So I've tried to get. I've been trying to get down to his conference the last couple of but it's hard to. It's like I get so many invitations to go to different places. So I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
and it's September is always a hard time too, because it seems like everybody wants to have their event in September.
yeah, no, we've had some issues. I had some issues in my town in September, in my community, so I had to stick around and help out a little bit.
Yeah, I
So
understand that.
yeah, so welcome. And then if you got any questions, I know we've been talking back and forth. I've been sending a lot of information. So yeah, it's good. I'll show you guys some cool stuff tonight. I'll show you kind of some basics, and then if and then we can talk one on one or whatever. Because I try to also build a market guide. I try to help people with what they're specifically doing as well. So when they get on board, it helps them expedite. Like this thing is unlimited. It really is, and I didn't intend to build it. I kind of will tell that story later. But let me go ahead and get to Bill real quick. Bill, do you want to kind of you and
Sure.
Scott are kind of the veterans of the group that are on tonight.
Yeah. Good to meet everybody. I'm Bill Danigelis in Northern California. Um, Gosh, Nate, I don't know when we met. It's like a year ago, maybe a little
Oh, it
longer.
was 2 years,
Has it been two?
almost or a year and a half, probably somewhere between a year and a half and 2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like June or July.
Yeah, I think so. Year and a half at least. So I've got, a rental property. I've also got an investment in some preschools. We got about 3 preschools right now in Texas. And so I'm looking at more investments there. I've also got involved in doing some lending and some personal. I've learned a lot in the personal side, but I'm working with some bigger partners and brokering more now in that space. And then the other thing I'm doing very similar, Fred, I think I've got a website called Northern California Tax Care, looking to help folks that have foreclosures. Haven't done any transactions, but have helped about a half a dozen people so far try to navigate the challenges of that. And I have a website that I haven't really done anything with yet in Michigan as well, on that same area.
which is good because we got all those people from Michigan. We got 7. We got Scott, the other Scott Atkin, the ATF agent, who's pretty busy these days. But we got like 5 or 6 people from Michigan.
Yeah, and I'm trying to wrap my head around RCIC. I don't know if it's just me in California where they don't publish a lot of information, at least in the counties where you can go get it easily, or I just haven't figured out how to make those connections yet. But
I'm going to kind of show a little bit tonight.
Yeah,
'cause
really
I've got,
interesting.
with some newer people that I really wanted to go back and show. Thursdays. I'm going to be kind of showing more of the functionality and the navigation of actually GPT and the AI and stuff. Wednesdays I'll be doing more of the, here's the modes because we got modes now. We got TC mode, agent mode, we got comms mode, all that. So that way, and then like I said, as always, if people can't make it, I'm gonna put the YouTube video out. Last night we went 2.5 hours, right, Curtis? We were on for a while. We were on 2.5 hours last night, so it was kind of good. Yeah, let me go ahead and jump right in because I want to show you guys something real quick, and then I'll get into the subject matter at hand. I do want to kind of just show you guys a little bit. So, if you guys want to see, you guys see me posting on Facebook. Let me try to get this a little bit. Give me a second. It kind of makes an adjustment. There's your Washoe County. When I did your search this morning. So basically, and we're talking about like on the counties and stuff, and obviously, so I think I can try to work on everybody's counties. I'll work on yours, Bill, as well. I know I generated some stuff for you a couple of weeks ago, but I'll try to see if I can figure it out. But I get 4 on Thursday, 3 on Monday, 3 on Saturday. So these are my AHJs, and I manage these are in Colorado. And it says, when I get these, you guys can see I got them at 3:30 my time today. This one, I usually get them between about 3 o'clock and about 4:30, and I get 4 of them. One of them, and you'll see them over here in my chat. One's like top 25 actionable, opportunities. And forgive me if you guys, if it's too small to read, don't forget that I'll just generate the PDFs and send it. You guys can go through it at your own time. So I'm really just kind of showing you guys the level of detail I get. So it gives me like top actionable call to distress properties. You guys, when you guys deploy your agents, like we were talking about last night, when your agents obviously through RCIC using the Prompt Assistant, where these chats are is what you'll end up having for your reports back. So this is actually one of my updates from my.
So Nate, if I could ask a question, did you like teach it to into the website, give it an ID and password if it was needed, or just these are publicly accessible files that you don't need any kind of.
So I just had a discussion with Curtis now on his, but some of it is so like on these counties, or sometimes they may ask you to do registration. Some may ask you to do like a CAPTCHA, a puzzle. They all have something, but you can. So what it will do is, I will tell it to go check. I use my agents. I get 40 agents a month, and those are just deployable through the prompt bar, which is the ask anything where the plus is. And so I can deploy 40 agents a month. So I have them deployed to checking some of these counties like Jefferson County, Colorado, Arapahoe County, Boulder, which is, you guys know Boulder. El Paso County is Colorado Springs, Colorado. Douglas County is kind of southwest of Denver kind of area. South. So I have my agents going, they actually are checking these because these are public records. So like Jefferson County, which is where Golden is, of course, Brewing Company is in Jefferson County. 6 new NEDs. So just on 12, this NED report, NED, Notice of Election Demand for Foreclosures, this NED report came out on the 31st, New Year's Eve, and it was 6 new foreclosure filings. So you get that, that's a good thing. Arapahoe County, Colorado, 9 pages. And so the pages could be like, it could be, I haven't checked it yet because I just got it, but that's pretty substantial for foreclosures. Arapahoe County, southeast of Denver. Boulder County, you guys know Boulder, that's where University of Colorado is. They have their NAD recorded entries. I got to do they have a counter report page. So when it says like here, where it says a counter report page, I have to go and actually just and download that. It's like a PDF to come back. And then also El Paso County has dozens of current sales, including parcel IDs and lender bids. So it has dozens. Think about this in El Paso County, Colorado, in November. Like I said, Colorado Springs, where the Air Force Academy is, in Fort Carson, 84 foreclosure filings in November. So Douglas County also has these. So these are reports I'm getting. Here's Denver City and County. Public trustee is available, but the county's public foreclosure reporting is less standardized than the government. So there's a couple of vendors. Denver uses a different vendor than some of these other counties around it. So it's a little bit more archaic. That's vendors. So to your question, Bill, like on doing registration or doing CAPTCHAs and things, sometimes you do have to go manually sign up for something, but it takes like 30 seconds. If I do 10 counties, it might take me 5 minutes to get the CAPTCHAs and all that, and you're done once. Then you can actually it comes and it tells you, hey, Jefferson County, here's Golden 80401 right here. 80401 is Golden. It has 1 notice of an election demand in Golden. It has 1 in Westminster, Colorado. It has 2 in Lakewood, Colorado. The reason that it has a 3rd one is obviously there's different zip codes. There's a couple different zip codes in Lakewood, so it has 2 in 80228, 1 in 80232, which I actually used to live in 80232. 80215 is Denver. It's a Denver mailing address, but it's in Jefferson County. It's kind of like on the border area. So it gives you these breakdowns of these zip codes. And this is, like I said, this is one of my agents returning this report. I get this every Thursday. I get a couple of different ones. I get 3 on Monday, 4 on Thursday, 3 on Saturday. On Saturday, I get a roll-up. Basically, it goes through and does my whole roll-up for all my agents, and it kind of tells me what's going on. It also can pull up actionable opportunities in overbid and surplus. We're going to cover surplus and overbid in a couple weeks. I'm going to be doing, like I said, 6 Wednesdays, 6 Thursdays after tonight, and we're going to be over the next 6 weeks. Sometime at the end of February, you guys are going to know this stuff back and forth. It doesn't mean you guys want to be working on it, doing like PDF 1, which is the onboarding. PDF 2 is a week later, 7 days. It's like more onboarding. It's redundant, but there's a purpose behind the redundancy. Once you guys do that, you start working it. You start working your deals. You start plugging in your buy box, your markets, and all that. It's going to go fully predictive. By the time everybody's done with the 6 weeks, sometime at the end of February, we're going to do the tune-ups individually for it's like 3 hours. guys, this is gonna fly for you. You guys will be getting these kind of reports every week. So you'll notice, look at how many, these are all the foreclosures. It's just telling me what the numbers. So these are those off ramps I tell you guys about. If I click on it, it'll go to Arapahoe County. It'll take me right to their foreclosure search page in Arapahoe County. It also has Centennial, it has Aurora, it has Greenwood Village. So you guys can tell there's different jurisdictions, obviously. You get down here to El Paso County, and it's got these are all Colorado Springs. These are all individual zip codes. So it takes me to, there's 2 in this zip code, 1. So you guys can tell this is all your foreclosures. So you can set your agents to go after foreclosures, the tax liens we've been talking about tonight. You can go after evictions. You can go after probate cases. Although in some states probates are different, and in some cases, obviously foreclosures are different. You got a public trustee. Colorado, it's a lot easier to get a foreclosure or to buy a foreclosure, than it is in Florida, where you have lis pendens. So you got a public trustee situation here. In Florida, you have lis pendens, LISPENDENS. It's 2 words. So you can ask RCIC once you're in a lis pendens state or a judicial foreclosure. RCIC will actually guide you through those AHJs. So what I try to recommend everybody in that first 30-day period is that you guys go in there and you learn, it's going to help you with your markets. I'm going to build everybody a market guide. So I'll try to find, when I ask you for the 5 counties, I try to build a market guide off the 5 counties that you give me to start with. If you're doing more than 5, get 5 ideal counties that you really like that are good, because you can always expand them just to start with, because you start building off of that. So you guys, and then you guys learn those AHJs. The authority having jurisdiction could be public trustee, county clerk, it could be a recorder. In Jefferson County, it's a county clerk and recorder. So they have 2 in one office. They also have the public trustee. Some states, the sheriff. The sheriff doesn't do foreclosure auctions in Colorado, so I don't have to worry about that. But then the probate courts, they can depend on and so can vacancies. In Colorado, it's the Colorado Judicial Branch. Even if it's a Jefferson County courthouse, the Colorado Judicial Branch coordinates all the courts. So if you go to probate court, you can actually go to their main branch, which is next door to the Colorado Supreme Court in Denver. So your state, your jurisdiction is going to be different. So I'm trying to help you with the market guide and learn your AHJs. So over the first 30 days, you guys are plugging this into your system. Keep in mind, you input everything through the prompt bar, which is this Ask Anything. And like I said, I kind of showed it a little bit last night. I'm going to do a little bit more presentation on the functionality of the GPT and the AI side. I just want to really kind of show you guys, this is one of those reports. So here you go into my notable new cases: probate, foreclosure, and evictions and overbid. So it actually is pulling these out for me. So you guys actually see these: 1624 Tamarack Drive in Golden, the 80401. It's going to have my case number. It's got the original sale date. And it's got beneficiary. Who the beneficiary is: Allied Credit Union. You get the official report. So this is actually on that particular foreclosure. So you can click on it. In some cases, if it won't take you directly, you can just use your mouse copy and paste and go put it in your browser and go right to it. But this is actually, these are the top, the recommendations. These are foreclosures for the 12/31/2025 batch. You got 8765 Cart Loop in Westminster, Colorado, and it gives you Colorado. This is the Colorado Housing. I forget exactly what it CHFA, but it's like a housing authority for the state that finance that. So that's the mortgage company. You got Montana Avenue in Lakewood. It's got your case number. So this whole foreclosure gives you the foreclosure. If anybody wants to see, I'll send because I probably won't pull it up on screen. But I've got the NED reports, and I can send you this NED report that's actually printed out. So if anybody wants that, let me know, and I'll send it to you guys afterwards. That way you can see what what a report looks like if you haven't. Keep in mind your jurisdiction may be different, but my whole thing is the first 30 days is to help you know what to expect in your jurisdictions. Sim Street's a pretty good one. Then you get down to Arapahoe County, Dry Creek Drive, down Aurora. You get a couple different ones in Centennial, which is a different city. Now you get into the pre-sale list. You get Colorado Springs, El Paso County, a lot of Colorado Springs. You get a probate course, Denver Probate Court. And it's got here's the Colorado Judicial Branch. So this is what I was talking about, the off-ramp and on-ramp. So you guys want to think about RCIC has an interstate highway. So this is your off ramp. This is like going to, hey, it's got that sign where the hotels and the restaurants and the gas stations are. This is your off ramp. Your on ramp is just basically return to RCIC. You may have a PDF or a doc that you've downloaded at the county's website or whatever jurisdiction you go to. That's your, you come back and you enter that either through ask, you can add photos and files, or you can just copy and paste it there. In some cases, I just, like in some counties, I'll just copy and paste. I'll just run down and I'll come back here and I'll input it, and it'll actually go into it. And then I can, I'm going to show you guys in the next couple of weeks how to, and you can, it's in the system, so you've already got the tools, so you can start pulling comps, at ARV rehab, all that stuff. But I'm going to be showing these over this next like 6 weeks on the two. Like I said, if you guys can't make one, you guys, everybody that knows Bill and Scott, you guys can tell the guys, the new people, that I'm pretty good about getting the Zooms out, making sure you guys never miss anything. And if you're looking for particular stuff, I'll try to like tell you the time frame when we covered it on the Zoom, because obviously last night was a 2.5 hour Zoom. So I want to make sure you guys get I want to make sure everybody gets all the information. So we'll talk also the next couple of weeks. We'll talk about eviction cases as well. But we're also going to talk about what you guys see on the screen right now, overbid and excess funds. And like in every state has them, but they have different, in Colorado, you can't go and you can't do a business offer services to be paid as an overbid, like to help people for 2.5 years. Some states you can do it right away. There's a ton of money out there. Believe it or not, guys, there's already a guy I've only seen one guru. I didn't learn it from him. I saw him out well after I learned this. I've been doing this 8 years, and I like literally learned about surplus and overbid funds in September while building this. And I'm like, there is so much money left on the table, because sometimes what happens is a lender bids $201,000 or $209,000, but the people there's $8,000 left over because the lender's only getting paid what they're owed. So where does that money go? It basically in Colorado goes to the state treasurer's office until somebody claims it. And there's a process and there's a way for real estate investors who are involved with the transaction to go claim it. But every like everything else, every jurisdiction, every state has different laws. So if you guys are interested in that, we're going to cover that for an entire night in a couple of weeks, and then I'll help you guys try to learn what your state and what your markets allow, so you guys can go and tap into that money if you're able to do it. It's just a legal thing in that state. So it also gives me the 5 fastest moving micro markets, so you guys can also set up your own micro markets. Like I said, we got the off ramps and all that. I'll send you the PDF for that, for these on the Ned reports tonight afterwards. Because sometimes it's like when I have doing the Zoom, it's hard for me to get to navigate the Zoom as well. But here it gives you guys these market in Aurora, Talons Ranch. It tells you multiple new NEDs, higher balances. Here you got liquid Green Mountain corridor. Green Mountain's like on the west side of, like literally going up in the mountains towards Evergreen. So repeated Jefferson County NED hits. Here you got Colorado Springs on the south and southeast side, down by Peterson Air Force Base. Heavy pre-sale volume. There's a lot of volume down there. Northeast is active pre-sale pipeline. Northeast is like, it's kind of, it's hard to explain that. Northgate, Colorado Springs, where you guys see Northgate, actually is by the Air Force Academy. Fewer entries, but it's high quality zips. So it'll guide you through a lot of these. It'll tell you where there's it'll tell you where to go. We saw that last night on one of these when I was showing you guys, that it was telling you that it'll tell you what neighborhoods and what zip codes are hot right now for you, what you should do for your strategy. So what I'm saying, you guys put your buy box, spend time on your buy box, and Curtis, I'll help you fix yours, update it. It'll actually tell you what strategy will work the best. Once your buy box is in, it'll guide you to what zip codes you guys are working for your strategy, what you're doing, if you're wholesaling, if you're doing tax liens, if you're doing foreclosures. It's going to give you it's going to say these are the hot counties for you. Here's your micro markets. It's going to tell you all that.
Nate,
I got my top 10.
I got one question, kind of piggybacking on what Bill asked. These
Yeah.
reports, this is a tremendous amount of information that's produced. How manual is this process versus how automated? is RCIC able to access this information automatically, or
Yeah.
how much of the manual process is it?
I'm going to say 90% of it can be automated, and it can be automated. And the reason that I don't have as much automated on my end is because I'm trying to cover a lot of, we got people all over the country. So automation, once you guys go in with your buy box and your markets and all that stuff, in the process of the PDF2 and doing the tune up and getting predictive, it'll start automating more for you. More for you than it will for me, because I have to, like I said, I have to cover everybody and every kind of thing. So I'd be using all my resources just to automate it. You automate it through your agents. Agents help automate it. There's also some other processes that you can introduce, and they don't cost anything. We talked last night about subscriptions. You guys can get, you can connect Dropbox, the free version, where you can save all the hard copies, PDF, and all that stuff. You can use Google Forms and all that. It'll actually guide you through building it. But there's that program, Airtable, airtable.com, I told people about. It's free. They have a paid version. I don't think anybody's going to need the paid version unless they're doing a lot of, like their capital connecting, their lending, things like that. A lot of volume wholesaling. You have to go and maybe watch some YouTube videos on how to build it. It's free. Airtable and stuff can automate this. You can fully automate it. You can do 90% of it. Where you still have to do some manual stuff is you can't automate going to the AHJ and actually going on there and pulling the information back. But if you look right now on my screen, it's telling me here's some addresses. So it's able to pull that information, but this is somewhat automated. You'll get your top 10. So once you've got it's like what I call the predictive side. Once it's predictive and it knows your buy box and your markets, these may be sufficient to some people because you're getting these deals. Like here, the sale dates isn't even until April 23rd. So you could be getting a lot of these right now and say, hey, in Jefferson County right now, this is every week. So you're getting this reports every week. You could take these 4 in Jefferson County right now, and those could be the 4 you worked this week. So it's kind of automated, but yeah, you can automate 90% of it. It's just sometimes
the examples that you're given here of the off ramp. Now, this is a terminology question. Can you give us an example of an on ramp?
An on ramp would be like just going back to. So if I go to Jefferson County right now on that Tamarack Drive one, right there I'm on the screen right now. If I click onto, let's see how fast it'll go. See, in Jefferson County, this is Jefferson County, and I did get a thing that Jefferson County was having some technical issues. So this is on their county. It's not because of RCIC. So I was trying to avoid not going to Jefferson County. Give me 1 second. I got to get back to it. So let me stop share for 1 second, and then I have to get back there. That's a Jefferson County thing, and I got told that earlier today. Actually, RCIC told me that. It actually told me that Jefferson County was having some. They may be doing updates or something. So maybe using Jefferson County is not the best off ramp and on ramp. Let me actually just check out Colorado Springs as an off ramp. I have to get down a little bit. I don't want to go too far down because I want to get into what I was going to go to tonight. But let me show you the off ramp and on ramp. Let me try to pull up one for. Let me just try to pull up this one in El Paso County. There you go. So this is what a NED report. This is a pre-sale foreclosure list. They have three different types of reports, and you can download this. So like I said, you can go to El Paso County or your AHJ, and you can actually just save this. So the off ramp, meaning I'm on the interstate that's RCIC. I'm taking the off ramp to go to that Motel 6 or that restaurant that's on, or the gas station that's on the side of the interstate. So now I'm in El Paso County. That's my destination for my off ramp. So here's the information I'm able to get on this. I'm able to get the foreclosure number, the grantor, the owner. I'm able to get the legal description. I'm able to get the street address. I'm able to get the Wells Fargo as the mortgage company. The first publication they have to make, obviously they have to list these. And the publication newspaper, which is the Colorado Springs Gazette. It's got the lender's bid amount. it's got a deficiency, and it's got the indebtedness. So you're able to then take the foreclosure number, and you can go back into the website. What I would do is that I would go save this, go back to RCIC. It's only difficult for me because I'm not supporting you guys on the Zoom. Otherwise, I normally just fly around these pretty quick, go back and forth. I just have to go back and do that. You guys will see them on the screen for a second. But this actually shows me, here's Colorado Springs. Like I was saying, there's a lot of them. There were 84 foreclosure filings in November. So this is January 6th. So this is Tuesday, two days ago. So this is showing you guys all the foreclosures that were just filed. This is 1 week. And then they update it. You can pull a whole month's list, but you're talking about 10 pages. This is page 4 of 10.
Nate,
Yeah.
Quick question. I don't mean to keep going over the same thing, but when we're doing the search in these chats and we got these 40 different agents, we're in the search bar. We're in the search bar under the RCIC GPT, correct? We're not in the regular Chat GPT search link, because even with that pay scale or that pay price for the regular Chat GPT buy-in, you can only ask it so many questions before it stops you and say start a new chat. So what we're doing, according to what you're saying, is we're going to RCIC GPT, and then we're putting all our instructions and prompts in the RCIC GPT.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what you're doing. And I'm actually going to show that. That's what everything that I was going to cover tonight deals with that. I was just showing you guys an update because some people were asking about the on ramps, off ramps, and I'm trying to show you guys because I post. You guys probably see me post on Facebook when I say, "Hey, just got my updates," and I wanted to show you what my updates look like because you guys. That's when we were talking about agents last night, Don. That's an agent that brings me this report that I'm showing you guys, where I can go to the off ramp to ask you guys a question is where I just went to El Paso County. The on ramp is what I just did now to get back here to you guys. I just basically went back to
Right.
RCI.
So how is my account unique in RCIC against Curtis Levine? How is my account unique to where my 40 agents will know this information is coming from me and not someone else?
Well, because you guys have when you guys onboard at the Bitly, let me see if I can show you that on the screen. I'll try to explain it, but I'm going to show you guys anyway, since I'm going to be showing you guys some functionality in a few minutes. The whole thing tonight, I was going to show you guys the basic functionality of GPT of how it works. But you have a number, you have an account, like an account number. You guys may not even know that, but you have an account number at GPT with OpenAI. So you have a specific let me just show you guys. I'll go and show. That'll be the easiest way to do it. Let me get back to because that might be the easiest way to do it. I was going to show you guys a lot of stuff. So just real quick, while I'm going to where I saved this stuff for tonight, is that an on ramp is basically just me coming back to RCIC, and then if I go and get that NAD report that I just showed you guys, I'll just download that. So that is a manual thing you have to do. You can't like automate that, but everything else is automated around in that process. You can actually click on those. You have to still click on those little links that I just called it off ramp and on ramp. I named it that myself. So just to kind of have some kind terminology to for people to kind of differentiate themselves. It's just a link. You go to it and you can manually go to like a website, things like that. But the on ramp is just me bringing that information back. It could be that NAD report where I would go and just put that in as a document, and then it'll start scanning the document, and then it can parse to your buy box. There's a couple of different ways that works, and we're going to show that over the next. I'm going to show you guys how all this works. It's pretty cool, and you guys will see it when you guys put in your buy box. You put your markets. The PDF 2 is when things really do come alive, and I think everybody's been in for 7 days now. Over 7 days, anybody that's new. So after you put in PDF 2, things really start to come alive as far as buy boxes and all that stuff. That's where the accuracy is. That's where it's going to start processing your deal, and it can do a full deal analysis. We have a thing called Overnight Deal Engine. I'm going to go over that too. And Overnight Deal Engine allows you to take those agents. You have your agent going out there, like I explained last night, to El Paso County, bringing back those NADs if you're interested in foreclosures. If you're interested in tax liens, there's a different process, things like that. But it brings back those to RCIC. Then you can actually have it pull, another agent can pull comps. So you're in 80127 in Deer Creek Mesa in Littleton, Colorado, in Jefferson County. It can actually go and start pulling comps. So it can put all the comps that are close. It'll pull up. You can ask for 5. You can ask for 10. You can pretty much tell it what you want exactly. It's going to pull those comps. You can determine your ARV. There's another agent you can use now to start looking at rehab. You can start pulling in pictures from Zillow and stuff. There's still some manual entry, data entry, still some kind of working your way around with manually. 90% of this is you can automate it. It's just but you can get all the way down to where you can write your offers to your sellers. You can put the LOIs together. You can actually then put it in Capital Passport. Where we got all those 19,000. There's about 5,000 are actually real estate, hard money, and private money lenders. Then there's the rest of them like family houses, hedge funds. Probably the ones that I just really kind of updated with were pension funds and endowment funds. And I'm going to spend an entire night on how that works. And I'll show you guys even the algorithm that was created. So we're talking about, this is navigation night. I really want to show you guys a lot. This is some of these questions that you guys have are going to be helpful. So this is the RCIC GPT. And I forget, I asked it one time what GPT actually stood for. So you want to use the RCIC Prompt Assistant like a menu. So there's no guesswork. And the Prompt Assistant is this bar. You guys see the only difference between me and you is that, and Jesse's on as one of my business partners. I have developer mode because I'm developing it, and I'm also, because I own GPTs, I have developer mode, and I also have it because we have the business plan. We're paying $60 a month, $30 per user for us, where you guys are paying $20. So I have developer mode. So you guys won't see developer mode on yours. So the Prompt Assistant's the same way. So I'll try to pull it up a little bit. You guys got add photos and files. That's where you can add on photos and files. You can put Word doc. You can put PDFs. You can put Excels. You can put any kind of documents and photos. If you're looking at rehab, you can enter pictures. You can take pictures and enter it. There's actually a program called companycam.com. You can actually use it on your phone. There's a free version, a paid version. Again, no one ever's going to need the paid version, really. You can take pictures and you can update all the pictures in the world. So if you're out there doing, rehab, or you're out there, supervising rehab, or you're taking pictures of your property, or if you're just getting them, if you see a property that you're looking at that comes to you through the distress intelligence, which is what I just showed you as far as going to AHJs, you bring all those pictures off of Zillow and Redfin and all that stuff. Nobody uses those websites in real estate investing, but they do have the pictures. So you can go put the pictures in through add photos, and you can start having it look at rehab. You can start comparing it to rehab. And I'm saying what could be a couple day process of having to do due diligence, having to do all your rehab, having to do everything manually, type everything manually, find all the forms. You can automate 90% of that. You could realistically, you could go from getting a net report at 8 o'clock in the morning, probably have it all the way through Capital Passport, lender matching, and lender offers within 90 minutes to 2 hours. So it is a time saver. It's going to do 90% of your work. And you can build off it. I'm going to show you, tonight I'm actually going to show you what it looks like on my end when I built it. And I encourage everybody to eventually start their own. So here, real quick, company knowledge. You guys won't have that one either because that's also on the Pro plan, like Jesse and I have. You guys can create images. I use this create image sometimes, but I have another one that's like in my chat, which is just image generator. So when you want an image, just ask it to generate a visual image and then you can tell it what you're doing. If you're using Facebook, or if you're going to post it somewhere, or wherever you're going to post it, tell it, because it'll try to create it. You can ask, hey, if you're doing YouTube, what are the requirements for YouTube? It has to be under 2.0 megabytes. So I always have 1.99. You guys will see that a few times if you guys are on Zooms, because I make the visuals. So you can do all that. Deep research. Guys, if you put in deep research, be prepared to be there for a while. I'm just telling you guys. There's a more. So obviously you guys can put apps in. So over here you get agent mode. That's what we talked about last night, where you deploy your agents. Canvas is like the screen, is what they call it, as a canvas. And they got a study and learn where, if you're studying, if you're a student, things like that, that's in there. You can connect your Dropbox. You can connect Google Drive. Let's see if I do this one. There's a lot of apps. So here's Airtable, guys, right here. So if you guys are interested in that, just go to that, and pull up your apps. Here you go. You can set up GitHub. You can set up Airtable. You got Adobe Photo. So this is where you connect your RCIC to apps. Airtable, you got Apple Music. You got Canva for doing all kinds of marketing stuff. Expedia for travel. Booking.com for hotels and all that. You guys got Instacart connected to it, OpenTable, Spotify for music, Zillow, Target, Red. This is all stuff you can connect your RCIC, your GPT in general, if you guys, because you guys can go to your own GPT, any other GPT off of this, and I'll kind of show you where the GPTs are, where mine is, and then where you guys can build yours and stuff. But these are all the apps. The ones you guys really, obviously, Zillow. I mean, don't use it for, like I said, real estate, for the numbers and stuff like that, but you're going to be able to go and find pictures of the properties you're dealing with, so you can bring them back and import them. You'll probably want to use, like I said, you want to use Airtable. Adobe Photoshop is new. Guess what, you guys? You guys have Adobe Photoshop. There's a free version of Photoshop in here. And you guys, that's a pretty pricey app for real. Now you can get into other things. Here you guys go. These are all the apps you guys have access to. You can connect Google Drive, Google Calendar. You guys can connect all of this. HubSpot, Intuit Credit Karma, the TurboTax is in here. Khan Academy, you guys can connect. I'm showing you guys functionality tonight, so not as much real estate investing, but trying to get you guys to know how to use this. So on the Wednesday nights, we're going to focus mostly on the real estate investing side. Thursday nights, for not right now, get you guys up to speed where you guys know your way around this. And you know what? We can help you connect. Gmail, Google Contacts. They got Clay. It explains everything, but really off this, Adobe Acrobat, Adobe Photoshop is awesome. You guys get obviously Airtable, Canvas, Grid, Dropbox. Those are the things you want. So there's productivity, and you also got lifestyle ones. So that's kind of your apps, and it's over here on the left side as well. It's not just down here in the prompt bar. So you got your apps. I'm gonna kind of show you guys a way around. I got library. Guys, everything that I do, you guys see me, and even some of the mistakes that before I get them fixed and publish them. This is your library. This is all my visuals. So it saves your visuals, guys. So you don't have to worry about it. You can see here's a couple where they kind of screwed up on the size. Like I had one where it made it all three sizes, so it was one for Facebook.
And Nate, I'm only seeing
Instagram.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm only seeing your cursor on Explore Apps. Are there other things that you're looking at? Is there another?
Yeah, let me get out of this one. I'll try to go back and see if I can, while you're not seeing it, but it should see. Let me make sure. Real quick. You guys aren't able to share it all? See it all?
We're just seeing the RCIC Live Zoom Infra plus Navigation Night, and
Yeah.
then you've got.
Yeah, let me go ahead and try to
Yeah, that's what I see.
Yeah, let me go back and see if I'm, because sometimes it may. Okay, you guys are seeing my cursor. Give me a second to get back to that real quick. All right, you guys seeing the screen now?
Yep.
Okay. So you guys, I probably won't go back to library because I don't know if you guys can see it. I think I've heard that before. So,
But right now, Nate,
you're
you're in RCIC right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. RCIC. So you guys are seeing where it says that bonus right there?
Yep.
Okay, that's where I'm in RCIC. So if you guys see on the left side of the, where it's got all, it has a library, it has codex, so the library keeps all your visuals, everything that you do, so you don't have to, I save everything. I save everything to Dropbox, and I have it all my documents and stuff. So it also has codex. I don't think anybody here is going to need codex. It'll help you write code. Keep in mind, there's two things you can do if you ever get, besides return to default mode. You can use refresh, which is up here. Obviously, the refresh signals that kind of circle thing with an arrow on the left side, or you can just because I don't do it. It doesn't look good when I do it here because I'm on a Zoom, so I have to stop share. But I sometimes will just use my X and I'll just close out. I have my icon down here in my task bar, so I'll close out and I'll just instantly come back. Sometimes, and I was telling you, it's not going to affect you guys as much as me. It probably won't at all. I'm on this, like you guys can imagine, all day long, building this stuff for everybody. So my chats get a little full, so they start slowing down. So sometimes I have to sit there and be a little. Sometimes I have to be patient, and then I'm like, the fastest way is just for me to sometimes close it out, restart it. Generally, when I come back on, it restarts in seconds. Everything's on screen that it was building for me. So it's just
Yeah,
sometimes, yeah.
Nate. Well, so when your chat gets full and it slows down, at some point the chat will ask you to start a new chat. When you start a new chat, don't that throw everything off because you got to start all over
No,
again?
because you that's mostly going to happen in like a regular GPT where you don't have a paid when you have a paid account now. When you have the paid GPT account, they give you a lot more leeway. I don't ever run into it where it tells me that my chat's old, that it's expired, that I have to start a new chat. I will generally start new chats. I'll start one or two a new week. When I get these updates that I just showed you guys, it opens a new chat, and sometimes I build off those because it opens them for me. But I've never actually, on my end, never seen it where if it says that to me, Don, go ahead and just like screenshot it or something and send it to me on Messenger so I can see what
Well,
it's
no.
telling
So
me.
with
So I
me,
can help you.
I've been paying with Chat GPT for over a year, and I use it a lot. But whenever I get to a certain point, it just abruptly stops me and said,
Are
start new
you?
chat.
Oh, so is this on the RCIC or is this just on the
This is
normal?
on my own
Okay,
Chat GPT.
I don't think you're gonna see it on the RCIC.
Okay,
I honestly don't think you're gonna see it.
okay,
If you do, like I said, that's why I tell everybody, like when I'm available 8 o'clock in my time to 12, um, take a screenshot or just copy and paste with your mouse and just then import that into your messenger and send it to me. I
okay,
will normally be able to fix it, look at it right away, and I'll import it in here and find out why. I've
okay.
never seen it, and nobody's, I've seen it when I had the free version. Like it would stop me because you don't, so when you have like a free version of it, it has limits. When you have the paid version, you don't have those limits. When you are in like a GPT, I don't think it has those limits because I've never seen. Nobody's ever told me that. So, like I said, I'm not. I'm telling everybody, blanket. From now on, if you guys get any kind of stoppage or it tells you something, send it to me. I want to see exactly what it says because I'm going to import what you send me back into mine and get a solution for you. Like in seconds, I can do it live in real time. So I'll try to do. Like I said, if you see that again, Don, let me know. Send it to me, and I'll get it fixed for you. I don't think we'll try to make sure we work on it.
Well,
So
no, it
generally,
wasn't a problem with anything you guys had. It was just a problem that I would run into
yeah,
with
no,
Chat
and I don't think you're
GPT.
gonna have a problem in the RCIC, but like I said, it's just anything that comes up, let me know because I want to fix it for everybody. Because just
Okay,
because somebody has a problem, it doesn't mean that nobody else. Somebody may see that same one later on. We're still trying to fix vaults. I know Jesse, you're on. We're still trying to fix vaults. And the best way to do vault is having Dropbox and Airtable. It's not as great as having there's because some stuff like you said, I just showed you guys all the apps. Connecting Dropbox and building an Airtable is awesome because Airtable is automated and it's free. Nobody's really ever, like I said, nobody's ever going to need the. I don't think anybody's ever going to need the paid version. So you guys know. Also, if you guys do get it, you probably won't see memory, but if you guys ever see memory, it'll come up. It'll be in the top like center, under like where the bar is, um, under the stop share and all that, and it'll just say memory, but it'll give you a link, and you click on that, it'll take you to your memory, and then it will kind of walks you through how to clear memory and how to The first couple of times I did it, I was kind of like didn't know. This was before I had RCIC. This is when I was first using the paid version. It would tell me, and I'd go in and selectively delete things. Then the second time I delete a few more things. After that, I just delete the whole thing. Since I've had the pro account, I haven't had to do anything with memory. We have almost unlimited memory. But if you guys ever get stuck on memory and you got a question, hit me up too, even RCIC or regular GPT, because I can help you guys navigate. That's what I'm trying to do right now, is trying to show you guys some stuff in the navigation. So here's the big
Nate,
thing. Yeah.
could you go pick up where you left off on the prompt bar and go back to the plus and the more?
Yeah.
And I think we were back there. It kind of froze on the.
Yeah. Well, no, I could, because sometimes on the apps, trying to get back from the apps.
Down
So,
on the more. Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
And
So,
explore apps.
yeah. So explore apps. Like I said, I can walk you guys through apps. When you go there, the only ones, like I said, Adobe Photoshop, you're probably going to want, Dropbox and Airtable. But it's got like a lot of, there's a lot of them, I don't know what they are. I mean, I've heard of stuff, but it's like, I'm not going to look at GitHub. I have Spotify. I know what Spotify is. Like if you want to connect music, I don't know what, there's a lot of stuff on that. So I can go through that more on a case by case basis if you guys want. But here's Dropbox and Google Drive, which you should use. You can connect those, connect the Airtable, connect. There's even, you guys see Go High Level. It's promoted a lot out there to the real estate community. You can connect Go High Level to this. We had somebody, one of our long time like capital providers, lenders, uses it, and you can connect, like I said, any of these apps. So you go to these apps, and then like I said, the other one is if you guys go to agent mode. I showed you guys that last night, but here, just real quick, here's agent mode in the thing. So now in describe tasks, that's where I can go out and ask it to bring me, can you deliver me, bring me, connect me, bring me the off ramps and on ramps to tax liens in Jefferson County, Colorado, and that would be my task. And so that agent basically was bringing me those, what I showed you guys at the beginning of tonight. The agents that I deploy are bringing me that information that I just showed you guys earlier with all those, the ones in Colorado Springs and the one in Golden and Lakewood. So that's one of my agents. So you have 40 agents. So what I've calculated is that if we had 1,000 operators, meaning 1,000 people using this, and everybody put 10 of their 40 agents into their own, go out and find your tax liens, go out and find your foreclosures, we'd be able to cover 10, 15,000 counties in the United States. And
Now, excuse me, just 1 second. You're in the agent mode and it's asked you to describe a task. Is that where you would copy and paste the PDF that you created that for, let's say, tax lien?
Yeah.
Or
anything that you guys input goes through that. For an agent, if you want to deploy an agent to go do that task, that's where you could copy and paste off the PDF, or if you create your own prompts. I also do have a prompt guide. I can get everybody. It's actually that I made. I have about 500 prompts that can help it, but you can actually just even speak in regular language and say, "Hey, can you, what do you want it to do? Do you want it to go out there and whatever you want it to do, go out there and connect with an AHJ? Do you want it to go out there and start looking for buyers? Do you want to go and find more lenders? Do you want to take 10? You want to do a whole overnight deal engine? You want to ask it to have the overnight deal engine, RCIC overnight deal engine, process your from distress to contract to close, meaning transaction coordination. That's every step in the process. That's deal analysis, daisy chain detector. That's every little tool you got, pulling comps, doing ARV, writing offers, everything. You can have it do the overnight deal engine. Willie put in 50 deals on a CSV, 50 deals. It processed it overnight. Literally had everything ready to go. It gave them all the recommendations. It had all and it operates off a color code system, which I'm going to be showing you guys too in the next couple of weeks on this. Is that it's just like a stop sign. It's just like a stoplight, red, yellow, green. If you get all greens, you're good to go. If you get a few yellows, you can fix them. If you get some reds, you may not be able to fix them, or it's going to take a lot of work. So everything.
All that you're explaining now, is that all done through agent mode? And if it's not agent mode, would you get a different outcome?
No, I mean agent mode. You can do overnight deal engine. You can run it through there because you're telling it what you want to do. Think of agent mode as you're basically telling. It's like having employees, but you don't have to pay them. You're telling it in agents. You got 40 agents a month to tell it to go out and do task for you. Go out and find me, tax liens. Can you go out and find this? Can you do this for me? It just depends on what you want to do on the agents, what you're actually doing. Are you finding foreclosures and then you want to pull the comps? So if I'm going to 80127 in Littleton, Colorado, I basically wanted to go find the foreclosures in Jefferson County, and then I want to go and pull the 80127 comps that are in that neighborhood that meet those that are, I'm going to go pull my comps. I'm going to have it determine my ARV. I can go ahead and use Zillow as an app. I can actually then get the pictures, so I can start, because believe it or not, you can actually go in and ask it, can you look at if there's any code violations? It can tell you, obviously it can't certify it. There's no, but it can actually kind of start to detect water damage and mold. It actually told mode. Another case of where I used agent mode is daisy chain detector. These wholesalers and stuff are putting out these very vague descriptions and pictures on Facebook groups. I can go, and if I get enough of a description, if I know the city or whatever, if I know some information, I can go and copy and paste out their Facebook thing, get the pictures, put them in through the prompt bar, and I can ask it to run daisy chain detector. In one case, I found a property, two of them actually in Texas. One was by NASA in Houston, where they had a water tower. Like every place in every community in Texas has a water tower. I was able to determine this neighborhood. This house had a pool. It was a kidney-shaped pool. I was able to determine. It took me less than 10 minutes. I went from a wholesaler's vague description on Facebook to getting the address in 10 minutes. Able to go and know if that was a property that I would be interested in pursuing. I had more information than the wholesaler did. I was able to go and pull all the comps. I was able to go pull the sales history with the AHJs there. I was able to get all the information, even in a non-disclosure state. It gave me all the sales history. It gave me the pictures. I got the Google map. I got everything within 10 minutes, and I was able to get the address. Another one was in Fort Worth. Similar circumstance. I ended up narrowing it down to a neighborhood. We determined the neighborhood, and they told me that it was a D.R. Horton. It was built by D.R. Horton, and we were able to take it to 3 D.R. Horton communities in that area, and we were able to, by architecture, get it to the exact neighborhood and find the property within about 15 minutes. So think about when you're talking about how much automation. Well, it's not even just automation. How much time saver you can do when you can do all this. Like, you can program your agents to do it. And I'm not expecting everybody to be experts tonight. Tonight, I'm really kind of showing you guys, because a lot of people have asked me. Even in the last couple of weeks, I think Bill and Scott could probably tell you guys. It's like somebody told. I think it was you, Bill, was telling me it's like a fire hose. So I'm trying to make sure I slow it down and show you guys where stuff is. So, because you see it, like, people don't need codecs. You don't need to do any. Probably don't ever need to do any coding. So, like on the taskbar, like agent mode is where you tell it what you want to do, and you got your apps. So you got agent mode. Like I said, and you got your web search. You can connect your Dropbox and Google Box. It's already got, you got your I got my Gmail connected. You may not use Gmail. Connect all these apps. I just encourage you guys, the next time you're on it, just go to your Connect More and look at your apps and see if there's any apps that you already are using in your, if you're using Dropbox anyway, connect what you're using already. And then, if you guys want Airtable and stuff like that, we're going to go over that. But go ahead.
Pardon me for just one more question.
Yeah.
Regarding the prompt bar and the agent mode, is it safe to assume that RCIC, the workhorse, is the agent mode? We do all our work in the agent mode?
A lot of it, but that's where you go ahead and get it to task. When it comes back to you, returns back to you, you still got to probably move some stuff around. You got to go and import it, kind of the on-ramp, off-ramp thing. And that's, like I said, it's my terminology. It's using the plus, but yeah, you're going to do a lot of your work in the agent mode, because it's doing a lot of work for you. You got 40, you can assign it 40 tasks a month, and they can be, they can be like what I'm doing. It's going and pulling in every week. It's pulling in these AHJs in Colorado. I pretty much check them so I can visually, go and check them. I know the AHJs here. A lot of them, when I was in the construction business, I had my licenses through them, through the same places, same buildings, maybe not the same office. But yeah, a lot of your work's going to be your agent mode. And think about it, Curtis, it's free. You've already got it, so just use it. 40 agents a month if you want to use. You got your 5 counties, you got Washoe, you got your other counties. you put in like 5 counties and have it go look at tax liens. If you're interested in
Yeah.
foreclosures, have it go look at the foreclosures. Those kind of situations. Use those to go look at those specifics. And then have a couple other agents start pulling comps and doing your intelligence work. And it saves you time. And where it is you guys saw that at the beginning of the tonight's session. That whole list. I have a lot of information on there. It's going to tell me, hey, El Paso County right now, it's going to break down and say this zip code has a lot more foreclosures going on than this zip code. So maybe I want to go spend some time there because it's a hot area for it. It gives you intelligence. It gives you information. It's like having a virtual assistant or an assistant, but you don't have to pay them.
Well, that does clarify quite a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the agent mode, the function of it, and that was the main component of RCIC.
Yeah. You know what I'll do, like this morning wash out for everybody tomorrow. I'll get everybody tomorrow morning. I will get everybody the prompt guide because I generated one, and a lot of the prompts on there are just general. And Curtis, you talked to me about that one thing that I have that's was like 49 cents. That anybody wants to follow me, it's like 99 cents regularly. It was 49 during the holidays, but I do, and I know everybody's paid for the, getting RCIC, but I'm doing that thing where it's like, and you guys will see it pop up now in a lot of my posts and stuff, but I'm doing a lot of general just AI stuff for people because a lot of people are still, they're new to it. You guys are new to a lot of it, so I'm trying to show you guys the functionality. A lot of the gurus, a lot of the people have never been on it. They're telling people it's not accurate. They've probably never been on accuracy. I cannot say it's 100% accuracy. Nobody can, but I'm going to say it's 96 or 97%. And I'm going to say that it's as accurate as your buy box. You guys are wrong when you guys say, and I know some people buy box might be like, you're doing tax lanes, it's not a buy box. It's like on ramp and off ramp. I just kind of like tell everybody, let's use it to just so everybody, because we have people that do everything. We have 30 people on one night. Those 30 people could be doing 30 different things in real estate. So we try to keep terminology like similar. So the more information, more time you spend on your buy box, and you can revise it anytime. You can add to it. You can change it all on the fly, all on you. You don't need me. You don't need anybody. That's your accuracy.
And Nate.
Well, thank you, Nate, and I apologize to everybody for
guys. Ask me questions.
All the questions.
Thank you, Nate. I got another question, real quick.
Yeah.
So if you get all this stuff going on with your GPT, right? And speaking outside of real estate, and you want to go live with whatever the GPT created with you, wouldn't you still have to pay a host to put it online? You couldn't bypass being a host, right? You couldn't bypass paying a host. You would have to pay a host somewhere, right? For it to go live.
Wait, you mean like having your own GPT?
Yeah, like so if you go GPT and you create a website from the RCIC joint, right? And you wanna advertise through your RCIC account based on how you are.
If you're gonna do like a regular website, you would probably have to have a host or a domain. But you can,
right,
because I have privatemoneyauthority.com, but I pretty much, and people can connect with that. I have that, just because that just has the pricing for people in the clicks. It's just because it's my domain.
Right.
No, you can. I mean, it's not going to host it. It'll help you build it. You can ask it, hey, I want to build a website. How can you help me? It'll walk you through the whole process and help you set it up. So just to
still
answer,
gotta get it hosted.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, that's just, it's not going to host it for you. There's some things
Right.
that
Okay.
like it won't, and and OpenAI has said this across the board that it'll never let it send anything outgoing. People still have to save stuff like emails. It'll help you write emails, text messages. It'll help you write letters, offers, everything all day long. You still have to save it. That's why I recommend Dropbox, so you guys can save it to Dropbox, the physical, the PDFs and stuff. You guys see me saving PDFs in here all the time. I save them all to my Dropbox as well as my documents file. It's pretty incredible. So that's why I recommend just a free version of Dropbox. If you tell it has Dropbox, it'll help you do the share. So you can bring it back here so it can actually just start helping drop stuff that you generate. Same with Airtable. So like I said, it really does help you organize things. If you're going to take it bigger, I'm going to show you a couple more things real quick as far as and that may be some of the question. Obviously, you guys have RCIC Prompt Assistant. Real quick, I'll go over home base in the next couple of weeks. I told you guys that's kind of the consumer guide. It's kind of like I'm going to be doing a monthly thing for people. You guys have access to it. It's another activation. I send you the Bitly. You guys get it as part of what you already got. I'm going to be revising it a little bit this weekend. 3,500 prompts are in there as presets, covering everything. They're in 100 prompt sets. There's 100 for automotive, 100 for home improvement, 100 for like finding doctors, finding concert tickets, things like that. You can imagine 3,500. So that is set up, and I'm just so you guys see that. Because I didn't want somebody to ask me, hey, what's home base. So you guys, I'll send you guys information on that, and there's an activation. It's free to you guys as well. You guys can to download it. It's just another GPT separate. So what I'm gonna show you guys real quick before we start getting ready to, because we're not gonna go 2.5 hours tonight. I'm gonna try to show you guys this and explore GPTs, because everybody's asking about GPTs. Here you guys go. Explore GPTs. So you can get the DALL-E is like deals with visuals. But you guys can get in all kinds of GPTs, as you can imagine. So let me see if I can get in real quick. I want to show. Okay, so like I said, you guys can get in all kinds of GPTs and help you build it. So you guys get all kinds of humanizers. Here's all the ones by ChatGPT. What is important for us? Let me see if here's my GPTs. So here's the create, so you can create your own. But when I get into my GPTs, here's my home base. Here's us RCIC. So real quick, when I edit, this is how I set up, and you guys see this, the prompt assistant you guys see, right? You got switch modes, you got how do I embed buy box, start here, all this. This is where and when you guys are ready to set up your own GPT, I'm going to help you. I'll share a screen, show you guys will share a screen, and you guys will build it, and you'll have your own GPT if you decide to do this. So I put up, obviously what you guys see is I have my prompt assistant, which is what you guys use, and it has the description, and here I have my under 8,500 words. You have to put it in there. So it actually wrote this for me in my own prompt assistant. My GPT built this for me. You guys will see overnight deal engine. It has to be 8,500, or under, and these are my directions to it, and that's what helps you guys. This is what builds it for you guys, and I'm not really. I can make a copy of that and send you guys what it looks like. I think I do have a copy, but it has the modes: default mode, resident mode, operator mode, the TC mode for transaction coordinators, lender, wholesaling, learning mode. If you guys ever want to learn, you can go to learning mode, and you guys can, if you want to learn about RV parks, learning mode has you can learn about everything: agent mode, tax lien mode, and rehab mode. So you guys can see this. This is where I put my directions. Obviously, I have the conversation starters, and then here's my, for knowledge. So I had to write a PDF for all the knowledge that we're putting in. What I recommend for 5 for the model, and then I have what the capabilities are: web search, Canvas, which is the screen, image generation, code interpreter, and data analysis. And then I can create new actions. So I wanted to kind of show you guys this. This is when you guys are ready to build your own GPT, that's where you go. It's right there in your screen as well. You can actually do it at any time. So then I would go back, and I obviously have my configure. If I make my changes, or if you create new, I'll go back right now and I'll put my update. So if I make any changes, I can go in and do that. So here's my updated. Anyone with link, you guys have the link. So there's my GPT. And that's what you guys access right there. And so that's a pretty cool. So when you guys are ready and you guys are really comfortable and you want to do a GPT for tax liens, your own business or something, let me know and we'll do it. We'll build it. And I'm not saying you can't do it right now. I'm just recommending, just off my knowledge, that I didn't think I was really ready for a couple months of when I was doing the paid version. So, but if you got, it's just anytime you feel comfortable, you want to do something, you need to come up, you have a little icon. A lot of times, get a picture or something, save a picture. Here it's got my name. You guys have already seen this. What the model number? You got your different models, and then it builds the 4 items. You guys will see dashboard or cockpit in the PDF too. This actually kind of looks like what a cockpit is. And when you use PDF2, and over the next, couple weeks after that, you do more sessions, you can actually make something that looks similar to this, and it'll walk you through the process. And you can actually then put your markets, and you can put your tools, what tools you use, a daisy chain detector, things like that. You customize it. I honestly think if we had 10,000 people in here, we probably wouldn't have two people have the same cockpit. But that's like having FastPass at Disney. You can put all your tools on one screen. You pull up the prompt assistant. Eventually, you have your prompt assistant. So build your GPT under ours, so you can use all my resources that I've already built for you. You have full content. You guys can go out and build your own and monetize them, things like that. So it's pretty cool that way. My cash cow will be home based because we'll be doing that as a monthly subscription. There are approximately 20, by now there's probably 25 million paid $20 a month users, and there's probably 5 or 6 million pro plan users. I don't know how many enterprise. That's the market that we're looking at for home base. Whereas we're probably never going to have more than 1,000, or my goal would be eventually maybe 2,500 in the next 2 or 3 years. Because I honestly think, and we're getting a lot of good feedback, and I appreciate it. And you guys are out there into these other Facebook groups and stuff in real estate, and you guys, throw something, our way. Think about it. Everybody that joins RCIC is helping you indirectly. I mean, because like I said, it's intelligence. Nobody can see. Don, you and Curtis can't see what each other is doing. You guys are doing the exact same thing now. You guys are doing tax liens. Yeah, Bill can't see it. He's doing some tax lien. He's doing what he was talking about. You guys can't see each other's screen, but when you guys are inputting, if all three of you are on right now, working on your tax liens or working on your business, the intelligence from is compounding. So you are actually helping each other because it gets more information, it gets faster, and nobody can train. You guys see down here, and I know it's hard to read, ChatGPT can make mistakes, but it says OpenAI doesn't use Nate Marshall's workspace data to train its models. Nobody can train on ours. We have that with the Pro plan. When you have the Pro plan, the business plan, the $30 per user, you have to have 2 users. Nobody can see what we're doing. Nobody can copy. So everything inside of RCIC, every user is basically contained. We're like self-contained. So it's really incredible what it can actually do. Like I said, I didn't. And for those of you guys who haven't heard the story, I know Bill, you suck God, and Jesse, you guys have heard it ad a lot. But everything, I was going to build the ecosystem. It was going to be 7 components and 3 websites. You guys can figure out, lending. There's going to be finding, the properties, things like that. I was assembling all the information I was going to hand to a website developer, and I basically it turned into this. It's unlimited. And I can have it explain predictive intelligence and how this goes from reactive to predictive. So to put it in my words, so I don't have to bring it up on the screen, 99% of real estate investing is reactive. You guys are reacting to leads. It could be a prop tech, like a prop stream or deal machine. Could be a list seller. You're reacting to a lead, to a foreclosure or something that's late in the game. People talked about, I got a tax sale in a couple of days, or I got to go to a foreclosure auction, like live, like they're on the TV shows. Now it's predictive because it's learning your business, learning your buy box, learning your markets. The intelligence is building, and it's going to become predictive. And less than 30 days. So it is on average. If you guys are using it like a lot of people, I'm not saying, because I think the only complaint I've had was Willie when he told me it was addictive. And I'll take that all day long. I'm just saying, try to, it is, you can take this down a lot of rabbit holes. You guys look at Homebase. Homebase was a rabbit hole. It was like a lot of times you guys can see sometimes when I'm waiting for, which I tell you guys won't have to wait on stuff to come up on the screen when it's processing, because you guys can think about everything that I'm doing all day long is just constant. So I'm building for everything. But Homebase was like filling in those gaps when I was like waiting for something to download, or I was waiting for this and that. And I built 33,500 prompts. I didn't I told them I want to do 100 prompts per section. There are 35 sections. There's a whole section on employment. There's setting up a business, setting up a side hustle. I've already used it when I had to replace my car in October. I used it as Carfax. I found 5 cars I was interested in, all Subaru 2.5i Outbacks, and I put in the VIN numbers from the used car dealers, and I put them in there, and it got me. I got reports back on VIN numbers. You can put your VIN number into Homebase, and it'll give you a report on your car, because it'll go through just the same way as Carfax do. It's why pay Carfax when you can do it through Homebase? And I was able to determine which car I wanted to buy. I found that a Toyota dealer in Colorado was selling a car with the salvage title. I also used it. You guys know Chicago, the band. They had all those hits in the '80s. I went to Chicago and got one ticket, $55. I didn't have to pay the fees. I got it for $55. People can use it to, hey, you got a niece or nephew that wants to go to the Air Force Academy or West Point? There's a whole guide on how to apply to a service academy. So I'm just throwing that. I'll connect you guys all with Homebase, since you guys have it. If you guys want to try it out and kind of give me feedback on it, because I'm kind of tweaking it. It's going to be a cash cow because I can do it for like $3, $4, $5 a month. I'm using Patreon for that because people can sign up and I can do the activation links and all that, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's kind of really cool. So real quick, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Like you guys see when it's done. I'm going to have it do this real quick for me. But I'm going to do Zoom first. So I'm going to process the Zoom, which is how I make the videos for you guys to see if you guys aren't on them. But it actually will walk me through the process. It's just going to be slow. Because I'm not going to, like I said, we're not going to go. We went 1 hour, 19 minutes. I try to go, unless we got deals. So these are kind of the things, guys, if you have deals you want to work on, too, we can. We can always cut off in 1 hour. And then I have 2 ways to do it. We can turn the recording off if it's sensitive. I have a couple of people on that on to talk about the deals, but that way there's no recording getting out. Or we can leave it on recording if you want to put it out to the whole group. I don't put that out to the public if we make a decision, because if I don't, so you guys let me know if you ever want to work off recording on a deals live. We do that all the time. We'll do that on Wednesdays and Thursdays as well. I also, like I said, you guys got all my contact information. Best times 8 to 12 every day my time. But if you guys want to do a one-on-one, let me know. We'll do a one-on-one just on your business, or maybe we'll pull in the guys who do tax liens. We'll pull in, you guys, Curtis and Don and Bill, and we'll get MJ and a few other people doing tax stuff, and maybe put a tax thing together. Just 4 or 5 people just talking about what we're doing, and try to then I can refine, and you guys can bring me information that to refine it, to make it better for you, so it makes it better for everybody. Because everything is on here, and I know Scott and Bill can probably tell you guys that it's a pretty cool thing. Everybody gets along really well here. Can you generate a YouTube title, description, hashtags, and a thumbnail under 1.99. So remember, if you guys ever do any visuals for social media, there's different requirements, and I'll walk you through that. But you can ask it, hey, I want to do YouTube, what are the requirements? You guys are going to see that it's actually going to generate my YouTube stuff. I'm doing the Zoom now. When we do these Zooms, if we do an hour, it takes about 30 minutes to process it. When it's ready, I can go to YouTube. And all that. If you guys got any sensitive stuff you guys want to talk about, like on your deals and stuff, or just let me know too. Like I said, we'll do them off recording. We've always done that, and Ari's back. Ari's he's been around for 5 or 6 years in our group. He's working with some investors on being their guy to lend their money. But Ari and I sometimes will spend 2 hours after Zoom just BSing after everybody's left. So yeah, it's like a family. It's like fun. We have a good time. Everybody here is really easy to get along with, and I try to introduce you guys to who's ever I mean, who knows? People like, RV parks. We got people that do RV parks. We got people that do everything. So you guys will see that information is going to pop up on the screen. I'm going to be a little patient with it and not, work my brain around it, because I want to show you guys what it produces. So this is what I'm getting my title, my description, my hashtags, and my thumbnail for YouTube, so I can build that, and then I'll get that out there tonight. But yeah, you guys got any questions? I mean, like I said, I'm gonna take these sessions and build off what we do. So if you have any questions that you think about tomorrow or over the weekend, hit me up. If you got any questions about what I showed you tonight, keep in mind. So like I said, Wednesdays we're gonna cover the modes. So I'll put out that schedule, what modes we're gonna do. TC mode, agent. We're gonna talk about comms mode. We're gonna do the stress mode. Probably just do stress mode first, because you guys want to get your properties, get your leads. That's kind of, we don't really use that term leads, but that's going to be probably next Wednesday, and then we'll probably go into the different modes, at least 6 of them. And then the next 6 Thursdays, we're going to do more of this functionality. I'm going to get you guys where you guys know your way around GPT. You guys know and how to set yours up and how to, because you're more, at that point, you guys are like super powerful. You guys will be ahead of it. We could end up having a couple hundred to 500 or 1,000 people out there, and that's just more power to everybody in the group. Because, like I said, it compounds, just like compounding interest, where it's compounding intelligence, compounding information, compounding speed. And the more people that are out there working it, the better. So it's going to take a second to populate this. I'm gonna go ahead and share screen real quickly one more time. I just like stop it right there real quick, so you guys hear where I stop it when I get a little bit of a. Yeah. So you guys got any questions on that? Anything that we covered? So it's a lot to learn, but I try to show you guys some basics. And if you guys want to go back into more of if you want to look at your apps, like I said, just go tomorrow and look at on your prompt bar, just pull up those apps and see which ones you already are using, and how you want to connect them, and it'll connect them to you, and you become more powerful when you can connect your Dropbox, you can connect your Google Drive, and it'll walk you through if you want to do a Google Drive, if you want to do like an intake form. If you're out there looking to buy a builder's list, you could have RCIC help you build a Google intake form that you can put out there in a Facebook group. I always tell people, you guys will, it's probably Scott and Bill can tell you how many Facebook groups I actually have to help you guys, because I have regional ones. I set up a lot of them. So there's a Georgia, there's an Atlanta group, there's a Northern California, we have one for Reno and Lake Tahoe before you even joined, Curtis. So you guys can get in those, and what I'm trying to do is get you guys to come in there and be like moderators, so I can not have to manage all of them. But you guys can start building your own intake forms to build your buyers, or find people and have people come on. And there's all kinds of things you can do. It's unlimited. If you guys dream of something, or you think of something, you don't know quite how to do it, let me know. We'll do it live on a session or a one-on-one. You guys I built. This is so incredible of what I just, I've gone all in compared to for this, because I just think it's so much, it's life-changing, it's game-changing for people to have this kind of, you guys have a safe and secure place to do business. And
thank you, Nate. And
yeah, Curtis.
It's very exciting. Looking forward to working with you and everybody who's on board here. So you all have a good evening, and I'm going to sign off now.
Yeah, cool. And I'll get you connected with Bill, because you guys are close to each other.
So. Okay. Well, I have his phone number, and he made an offer to get a hold of him, so we're good. I talked with Don a little bit this morning. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're going to start, and we'll connect MJ and some other people with you. Some other people that do tax links there in Houston, like I said, and we got 4 or 5. We got some other people. Zeke's in Wyoming. You guys will like Zeke because he looks like Santa Claus. He's got the big white beard.
Well, I had one of those at one time in my life myself.
So it was like, Zeke, how do you manage that?
He looks like somebody from ZZ Top. Come on.
Yeah, all right.
No, yeah, Zeke's awesome. He hasn't been around. He's had some health issues, but he'll be back. He should be back in a couple of weeks. But no, it's a family, and use the Facebook groups and use the Zooms, and I'm glad you guys exchanged numbers. because I'm like,
Yeah.
sometimes I try to do that and I don't know I don't know if people are connected or not, but you guys are so close and everybody's doing, I mean, everybody tonight seems to be doing some of the same stuff. And Dakota couldn't make it. He was really like, hey, I can't make it. If you guys ever can't make it, you guys just hit me up and I'll make sure you have the Zoom.
Well, with
appreciate
real
it.
estate, we don't have to be doing the same stuff. There's a lot of overlap. You never know where it intersects and where you could help or need help.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. And it's like you guys are going to meet people that are doing syndication. We have a couple of securities, like syndication and securities attorneys too, who are involved or who are going to be on, and they're awesome. I got Grant Cardone's capital raising attorney, and I'm good friends with her, so she does all of Grant Cardone's deals. So we have, we've got some connection to some of the big players, through intermediaries. So I'm just really, I don't know, this thing's really taken off. It's just really.
I might hit you up for that connection because I'm looking at a 296 unit apartment in Reno, and it's out of my price range, but syndication would be just right for that.
Yeah, let's talk about that because there's some other people that might be interested in too in the group, and then I'll connect you with Jillian, and we also got Paul Vincent, who's also a syndication attorney, and I can connect you with those guys. They're good friends. I mean, Jillian's awesome. She's got some great stories because she used to be in Hollywood. She used to work in Hollywood, and she not only did syndication for real estate, but she also raised capital for movie producers and stuff. And so she's got a lot of connections in Hollywood. But she and her husband moved to Puerto Rico. They couldn't even fly last week because of the operation in Venezuela. They were trying to fly to the mainland. I was joking about the mainland United States, and they couldn't fly because they shut the airspace down over Puerto Rico, so all their F-35s and all that could land in Puerto Rico after the operation. So
yeah, you want to be on the ground, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, it's us. Yeah, so yeah, guys, I'll process the Zoom tomorrow morning like I did this morning. I try to get them out that same night, but generally by 10 o'clock my time the next day, I'll have the Zoom ready to, processed and up. So you guys can go back and renew if there's any sections you want to go back and watch again. Yeah, PDFs, anything that's small print. But really, in the next couple of weeks, I also want to get everybody to build their own GPT, and like when they're comfortable, so that way you guys can have your own, and it's a lot easier. Then you really learn how to master the RCIC because you've got your own as well. You start learning how to, where to put things, and then you can take what you want from RCIC to then condense it into exactly what you're doing, and then you got RCIC for the bigger picture of when you need it, so you can go back and forth. It's pretty
That's
cool.
very exciting.
No, we're trying to, like I said, my goal is to get 1,000 people, and if we have 1,000, it's like we're like we can get all these leads, all these foreclosures to us. I mean, literally before anybody else ever gets them. It means we can cherry pick. The people in this group can cherry pick whatever they want. They get exactly what they want. So cool.
Okay, gentlemen. Don, have a good evening back there in Georgia. Take care. I hope your dad's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. Thank you.
Good.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah,
And
all
then
right.
Next Zooms will be Wednesday and Thursday, same time. Don, if you ever want to do one a little earlier, we can do a one-on-one. I also can hop on like an hour before. I'm always willing because I know we have tried in the past to like I think I told you last night to start one later, start one earlier. It was weird, like the people that were in California were coming on the one that I was starting for the New York people. It's like it's almost like a balance trying to. I try to accommodate everyone. You talk to the guys that have been around a while. They said sometimes it's like, when you get 200, 300 people, it's hard to like. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what the Zooms are for, though. That's what hit me up on Messenger like you have. So.
Okay. Thank you, man.
All right. See you, Curtis. Have a great night.
All right.
See you guys.